NFL fans, what is up? We are here discussing the Week 2 matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Uh, Lions coming off of a pretty important win, some might say, for their franchise, starting 1-0, beating up on the Super Bowl champs. And the Seahawks coming off kind of a shaky start, getting blown out by the team that everybody kind of expected to not win that many games, in the
I
Los
think
Angeles
these two
Rams.
almost mirror each other a little bit
In terms of,
because it's never going to be the prettiest brand of football from either team.
true.
But they both, I feel like, have guts. They're kind of grimy. Like, I don't know. I think more so Detroit, but there's always something about a Pete Carroll team that can dig it out. You know what I mean? Run the ball.
Yeah, I think like you're kind of right because I feel like Pete Carroll's teams love to do the dirty work and like MCDC's, sorry, Motor City Dan Campbell, his brand of football is like smash mouth, kind of do the hard work so that way we can enjoy the fun stuff. Like I I feel like
The,
these are very evenly kind of
when we
made
looked at
teams.
when we were trying to decide, like when I looked at that on the schedule, it's like that is a hard game to predict a winner for. Like I could plead a good case and stick to my side of the argument for either team. Who do you got?
Honestly, dude, I feel like the Lions beating up on Kansas City is going to have. I mean, it's going to go one of two ways, right? This is going to be like the momentum that this franchise is needed to ride off for a good couple weeks and stay relevant and on top of the division, or they're going to come in thinking that they're gung ho because they beat Kansas City and just fall because they weren't prepared. But I don't think that that's kind of how
I'm with
Dan
you though.
Campbell
I
is.
feel like the momentum from the Kansas City win carries over.
Hmm.
The fact that Puka Nakua was able to just straight put in work against Seattle.
And I mean the Lions wide receivers aren't nothing to scoff
That's what
at
I'm
either.
saying. Is like you got Amon Ra, Josh Reynolds, you got Marvin Jones. Laporta looked good in the first game against Kansas. Like I
Yeah.
just, man, something tells me the Lions are going to win this game. It might be close. Seattle don't play as bad as they did last week, but I still think the Lions win this. I'll take Seattle by 5.
Seattle by 5.
No, not Seattle. Detroit by 5.
I was gonna say you just said you thought the Lions are gonna win. Lions are favored by 6, so I mean you're kind of right there with Vegas. Um, so you're taking the Seahawks to cover that. I think the Lions might blow them out. And here's the thing: like we just said, this can go one of two ways. They can ride that momentum and make this like a big deal for that franchise, or they can come in here with a big head, think that they're the shit now that they beat up on the Kansas City Chiefs, and now they lose to the Seattle Seahawks in a I want to say drag out like brawl because that's kind of what I expect this game to be. It's going to be a hard hitting, good, probably defensive affair. But if those wide receivers eat, I think Detroit could win by 10.
Well, I'm banking on the fact that I wouldn't be surprised. Like you could be completely correct in that. I'll say this: Seattle completely shut the run game down against the Rams. Okay, well, the Lions still have Jameer Gibbs and they have David Montgomery, which is better than Cam Akers and whoever else was over there.
Kyron Williams, who had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, from passing shit. Like he's a better pass catcher than runner. My point is like, can Seattle shut down Detroit running?
I think I don't know because that's the hard thing, right? Like they kind of have a little thunder lightning situation going on right now where David Montgomery pounds that ball and then they get it to the outside with Jameer Gibbs and it's an electric thing to see. But like
But not to mention Seattle. I mean, the Lions O line is good.
so good, underrated
I'm
in a lot of
I'm
facets.
I'm about 70% certain though that the Lions can shut down Seattle's run game.
I mean,
So the only
if
way to avoid a blowout by the Lions is do you think it's possible for one of the receivers on Seattle to just have a monster game?
I think when you have DK Metcalf at any point, that's possible. I mean, I
It's,
think DK is electric enough to have a big game every single week.
if one of those guys have a good game, Seattle will cover. They'll cover the 6 points.
That'll be interesting for sure. I mean, Geno Smith also needs to go back to looking like he was a quarterback before he got paid. I mean,
Right?
16 for 26 and 112 yards and 1 touchdown against the Rams, which a lot of people, like I said, have been saying is a horrible defense going into this year. Just isn't going to cut it in any facet of the game. Any IDP players people should be looking out for?
Ooh, after last week, I would definitely keep my eye on Brian Branch from the Lions if he's available. He had the pick 6 against Mahomes. He played really well. I think he's got the instincts of a football player that's like not real common. I was not high on Alex Anzalone going into week 1, but what he did against Kansas City, I was impressed with, so I keep my eye on him. Seattle, not so much. I don't think that they have the star power on their defense yet. I think that's what's holding that defense back. I mean, you got Devin Witherspoon in the first round, but I wouldn't take him.
I mean, Jamal Adams and Devin Bush were limited in practice as well, so that might lean a little bit towards me.
Basically, Seattle just has to go back to playing really good team football to give themselves a shot.
Yeah.
And the Lions just have to really work on focus on what's in front of them at the time, not getting too ahead of yourself. And I think you're going to have a great game from either team. Even if Seattle beats the Lions, I will not be surprised. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. I think that team is put together well. And, I'm really high on Zach Charbonnet. So,
yeah, you are.
If you could give me a last-minute field goal for a win from either team, I would be stoked.
I wouldn't be surprised by any means. I feel like this is going to be, even though I said I think this is going to be a blowout, I could also see this coming down to the last second and being a close game.
Oh, I'd love that.
Over under 49 points in this game. That's what the line is currently set at.
Ooh.
I think it's an under.
It's 100% an under. If the Lions couldn't get to 49 with Kansas City, you're certainly not going to do it with the Seahawks. And as I said that, I have a feeling we're going to eat those words.
We very well might. This might be like a 37.
As I said that,
30.
I knew not to say that.
This might be like a 38-37 kind of game.
Logic dictates, though, that it's not. So I'm going to go with not.
I'm on the same side with you. If you're watching this video, make sure you like, comment something down below. Let us know what you think about the game coming up. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one. Deuces.
Peace.